Hello friends, welcome to this new YouTube tutorial video on SQL Basics. Now in the previous YouTube tutorial video, I showed you how to create databases and data tables from CSV files in SQL and load them. So today we'll be using that same file and I will show you some basic SQL queries. So let us first have a look at the dataset that we had created. So for this we'll be using select statement. So I'll just so this is just a comment and I will show you select. So let us just have a look at the database that we have loaded. So we do select star from, and this basically is the name of the database that we had created, and finally the table name we had created, supermarket sales. So if we just execute this now, so this basically is the data set that we have. This is a dummy data set, of course, and this is something that we had loaded using a CSV file, and now we can see it in SQL. So if we want to have a look at the entire data set, then we have to write select star from and followed by the table name. Now, what if we just want to look at the top 5 rows of the data? We do not have to look at everything, but just the top 5 rows. So simple same statement, all we have to do is, instead of select star from, we'll just do select top 5 star from, and I'll just copy the table name and I'll execute it, and now we have just the top 5 rows of this particular data set. Say we do not want to select the entire table. We only want to select a few columns. Say for example, we are only interested in 2 columns called namely branch and city. How do we select them? So again, a very basic statement, and I will simply copy this statement first, and I'll paste it over here, and I will just write a comment, top select column. Yeah. So, and all I'll do now is just mention the names of the column that I want to select. So branch, city. So these are the only 2 columns that I'm interested in, and I will simply execute this. So now instead of the entire data, we just have the 2 columns that we are interested in. And what if we just want to see the top 5 instances of branch and city? So that too is very simple. All we have to do is select top 5 branch and city, branch comma city, and we'll be able to have a look at the top 5 instances of branch and city. So this is how you can instead of the entire data set, you can just focus on a few columns. Now next I will show you how to have distinct. Now we say we want to know what are the distinct branches that we have in this data set. Now say for example, if I just to select branch, select spelling mistake, select branch from the data set, I'll again just copy the table name and I'll paste it over here. So now you have the entire list. So basically all possible branches in this data set are there. But what if we just want to look at the distinct branches? What are the distinct values that are there? So simply, if we just add distinct, this keyword distinct in this particular statement, select distinct branch, and I execute it. So essentially we just have 3 branches in this entire data set, which is A, B, and C. What if we want to have we want to know the count of distinct branches? Now over here it's very easy. We can clearly see that there are 3 branches, A, B, and C. But in many cases, the number might be huge. So for example, this particular data set that we are working with right now, it only has 1000 rows. So this is something you can easily manipulate in an Excel file also. But the beauty of SQL, the real importance of SQL comes from the fact that you can use SQL to manipulate much larger data sets. So over here, even though it is very simple to see that there are 3 distinct branches, say we just want to know the count. We want SQL to tell us the count of distinct branches. Then what do? Again, pretty simple. I'll just comment it out, count distinct. So yeah, this is exactly what you have to use. So instead of selecting distinct, I'll just copy this statement, I paste it over here, and I'll simply write count. So yeah, select count of distinct branch, and the answer should of course be 3, because we already know that there are 3 distinct branches. If I run it now, so you can, as you can see, the count is 3. And say, what if we want to give this column a name? So that too can be done. So right now it is written as no column name. So if I just want to give it a column name, so as branch count. So branch count is the column name that I want to give. So select, so I've just written as branch count, and I select this again and execute this again. So yeah, so now we have a column name branch count, and the sum and the number is 3. Up next, I'll talk about where. So we do not we do not need the entire data set, but we are only focused on a particular subset of the data. So now let us have a look at the data set once more first. So if I just have a look at the data set. So yeah, so this data set, it has the invoice IDs, it has the branches, city names, and all. Say we are only interested in the data of a particular city, and in this case, say the name of the city is Naipai Itao. So I'll just yeah, so Naipai Itao is the city name that we are interested. So how do we just extract the data of this particular city? So that is where the where condition comes in. So right now we have thousand rows in this particular data set. But when I give this additional condition where city equal to, and I'll just write nai pi itau. Yeah. So let's have a look at it now. So as you can see, we only have 328 rows over now, and so the entire data set of the city Naipai Itau, that is something that we are able to extract. And you must notice something, that I did not even have to this is not case sensitive, so I could write a small n and get away, even though in the actual data set the city name, it starts with a capital N. Even though I have kept a small n in my query, that too worked, so there was no problem. And as a matter of fact, I'll just also show you that how it is not case sensitive at all. So even though the column header is city with a capital C, even though I had kept it as a small c, even then it would have worked. So as you can see, like a small c and even a small n in the city name, that too works. So it is not case sensitive at all. And this same thing, so instead of say we are only interested in the top 5 rows where the city is Naipai Itau, that too can be done just like earlier. So if I just want to have a look at the top 5 rows, all I have to do is put top 5 star over here, and then execute this command. And if I execute it, as you can see, the top 5 rows of for the city Naipai Itau, that is now here. After where condition, I'll show you how to use AND condition. Say we are not just interested in the city Naipai Itau, we are interested in the city Naipai Itau, and wherever the gender is and wherever say the gender is female. So like we will introduce another condition apart from the city being Naipai Itau. So how to do it? And many of you have probably guessed it by now. We will use the AND condition. So let's start from the table name, where city is Naipai Itau, and gender. And gender equal to female. I need to put it in inverted commas. Yeah. So now if I execute it, so as you can see, earlier the number of rows was with 328, now it is 178. So only the city, we only have the data from the city Naipai Itau and for female. So the all of these are techniques of getting the various subsets of the data. And now in this case, even though the data size is just 1,000 rows, in real life you will have to make subsets of data because the data can have millions of rows. So and that is where the true power of SQL comes in. So you can dissect and bisect the data according to your needs, and then perhaps copy it in an Excel and work with. Otherwise, if you try to copy the entire data in Excel, it will simply hang. It will not work out, and that is where SQL is so useful. Next, we will also talk about another condition, another statement called OR statement. So say we want the data of a couple of cities, not just Naipaitao. We want the data of another city as well. So let us just have a look at what are the distinct cities first. So just like distinct branch, let us just have a look at what are the distinct cities in this. Uh, yeah. So instead of branch, let me just change it to city and just rerun it. So yeah, there are three cities: Naipaitao, Mandalay, and Yangon. And say now we do not just want the data for the city Naipaitao, we want it both for Naipaitao and yeah, and say Mandalay. So what we do? Nothing. All we have to do is add an OR condition. So where city is Naipaitao or city equal to Mandalay. So Mandalay, right? And if I execute this, so now if you see there are 660 rows, not like 360 odd rows like earlier. So you have the data of both Naipaitao and Mandalay. So now both the cities we have over here. So next we will talk about another condition called not condition. Now, what if we want to like all of these have been selection processes? What if we want to see the data where the city is anything but not Naipaitao? So in that case, the other two cities, basically in this case Mandalay and Yangon, those cities will come up. So we'll just this is just a reverse way of giving a condition. So where not city equal to Naipaitao. So basically all the data will come except for the city of Naipaitao. So if I execute it, now the data of Yangon and Mandalay has come, but there is no data for Naipaitao. We have 672 rows. And now what I will try to do is show you a combination of various things. Say for example, we want the data for the city of Yangon, and and there can be two different say product lines. So in this case it can be food and beverages, and say health and beauty. So that is how we can do it. So it will be, so in one statement I just want to show you how you can use multiple of these conditions, or and so on. So like let me just comment out and call this combination. So this is basically a combination of some of the statements that we have seen earlier. So I will just copy this. Yeah, so let us just take the data of Yangon for now. So I'll select Yangon, and I want a couple of product lines. So I don't want the entire data for the city of Yangon, but I want a couple of product lines. So let me just write it out that way. And now in this case, there is a problem because because this particular header has a blank space. So I need to use this bracket, this third bracket here, so in order to put that name. So otherwise it will not work. So it is not like city where I could have just written city or branch because there were no spaces. But now because over here there is space, so I need to put it like this. So where in third brackets I have put it where product line equal to, and yeah, I'll just select say health and beauty. Yeah, health and beauty, or product line, I'll just copy this first. Yeah, or product line equal to say food and beverages. So I will now select food and beverages. Yeah. So yes, we are done with it. So essentially what will happen is that we will now have the data for the city of Yangon only where the product line is health and beauty and food and beverages. So let us have a look at the data now. So yeah, this is what we have now. So we have the data for, yeah. So okay. I have done not city instead of city. So this is a mistake. So now, as a matter of fact, we have the data for Mandalay and Naipai Itau, wherever the product line is food and beverages and health and beauty. This is also okay. But because we wanted to take out the data for the city of Yangon, I'll just remove that not statement. And so now we are just taking the data from the table where city is Yangon and the product line are these two. So I'll just re-execute the statement, and yes. So now we have the data for the city of Yangon, wherever the product line is health and beauty and food and beverages. There is nothing else over here. So in this statement, we have seen this, and whenever it is not if I put the condition as not city, which I had done earlier, then we will have the data for product line health and beauty and food and beverages, but the city will not be Yangon. It will be anything else apart from Yangon, and in this case, Mandalay and Naipai, and the product line is still food and beverages and health and beauty. These are the two product lines. Yeah, then beauty and food and beverages. So yeah, that was just a combination of multiple commands. Next we will show you something called order. So say like if you look into the data right now, and if I just re-execute the first query that we ran, you can see that there is no particular order. Say for example, branch A, we have a data for branch A, then C, then again A, then C, then somewhere B. So there is no order right now. But what if we want the data to be in some kind of an order? So say we want to order it by branch. So all we have to do is we have to select, so we have to run almost the same statement, but with different conditions. So we select the entire data, but we order it by branch. And if I execute it, so as you can see, now we have A first, followed by B, then followed by C. So the entire data is in order. So A, B, and C. But what do we want to reverse the order? Say we want C first, then B, then A. All we have to do is write this additional condition called DSC. It will now reverse the order. So now you have C first, followed by B, and then A. So it has reversed the order. Now, what if we want to order by multiple things? Say, for example, we want it to be ordered both by branch and also by product line. So branch A should come, and even within product line. So right now it is E, H, then F. So there is no real order in product line also. So what if we want to order it by both branch and product line? So simply instead of order by just branch, we have to do by product line as well. So yeah, just copy this and paste it over here. And if I run this now, so see, it has not only it has ordered by branch, it has also ordered by product lines. So E is coming first, electronic accessories, then F, then H, then S. So everything is ordered now in this particular instance. Yeah. Now, what if I want the order of branch to be proper, but the order of product line to be reversed? So simply say the branch ordering is ABC, but what if I want the order of product line to be in almost decreasing, you can say like F should come before E. Then all I have to do is this. So now branch will be in the right order, product line, the order will be reversed. So A, but C. So S has come. Even though branch is in the proper order, it is like following that A, B, C pattern. But in product line, we have S first, then we have H, F, so on. So it is just reversed, and I can just play around. I can reverse the order of branch as well. So both have done DSC, and if I run this now, then so yeah, it starts off with C, it starts off with S in product line, and it starts off with C in branch. So we can actually play around in any manner as a matter of fact. I will quickly end this particular discussion now, but not before showing you another aspect of it. So I'll just show you how to create a temporary table in SQL. So temporary table. Now, earlier what I had shown you is how to create a full table, a permanent table in SQL. Now, in many a times you will need to create temporary table because you do not want to save everything that you do. You primarily want to save the end output. So you sometimes end up creating temporary table, and using that finally you create a data set, which is your final data set. That is something that you save. So I'll just show you how to create a temporary table for now. And yeah, so I'll start off with a drop table command, and I will name this table as temp table 1. Now, right now there is no table called temp table 1. So that is something that we are about to create. So if I run it now, there will be an error. So as you can see, there is an error. Yeah, it cannot drop this table because there is no such table that exists. But now if I just create this table, so I'll just take the top 10 star, and I will take quantity, and I will, yeah, and I'll name this quantity table quantity column as QT into the table temp table 1 from. So only the top 10 star, and I will just create another column called quantity. Now, something interesting is there here. Say for example, right now, if you look into the data, then all of these, even quantity and everything, actually this is not an integer. So I'll just create a separate, I'll convert this quantity column into integer and save it as qt in my temporary column. So how to do that? So this is basically another and apart from creating a temporary table, I'm also changing the format of the column quantity. So right now this is just a character. So like right now I cannot sum up the quantity quantity variable over here. But in order to sum it up, because it is already not an integer, I need to create convert this into integer. So I will cast this column quantity as int, and save it as qt. So now I will have another column which will look very much like quantity, but it will actually be an integer. That column can actually be used for mathematical work as well. You can sum it up, you can like subtract it from anything. So now I'm converting this particular character into integer, and then saving everything in this temporary table called temp table 1, which I'm creating out of the permanent table, which is supermarket sales. And if I just run it now, so yeah, so 10 rows have been affected, and this data is ready. First of all, I'll just have a look at the data. So let me just have a look at this data. So, yes, So as you can see, we have this column called quantity and we have this column called QT. So this QT is actually an integer version of the same column called quantity. You cannot sum up quantity, but you can, as a matter of fact, sum up QT. And that is something that I will show you in the next tutorial. But I will show you the exact difference between these two columns, quantity and QT. But this right here is basically where we have created a temporary table out of the supermarket sales data. And since it's a temporary table, for now I will drop it also. And like, even if I close the session, it will drop automatically, but I just want to show you how to drop it. So now if I execute the drop table command, it's successful. Earlier it was throwing an error because the table itself was not there, but now it has dropped the table. And now if I try to run this, it will not show anything because the table itself I have dropped it. So yeah, it's showing, it's giving you this error message. So now we have been able to create a temporary table and we have dropped it as well. In the next lecture, I will show you how to insert new data into the temporary table, how to sort of use the data for various kinds of mathematical work, how to use sum, group by, and everything. All those things I'll be teaching you in the next class. I hope this particular exercise was useful. You learned something, and if yes, do press the like button and also subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much.